When the YouTube app don't want to work, right guys? It is the Dear UG here once again, and it's time for my NFL Week 10 picks. Doing them a little early right now because the internet's moving good. Plus I don't know how the weather's going to change later tonight because it is raining, so hashtag blame it on the rain. Yeah, yeah, because the rain don't mind, and the rain don't care. Of course, I am the Dear UG here, and before we get to a recap of this past week, I didn't watch any games on Sunday, excluding the Buccaneers getting murdered, death killed by the Saints, and I watched the last Thursday night's game and this past Monday night's game as well, which the Monday night game was better than I think a lot of people are going to give it credit for, to be honest. Personally. Just getting everything set up on the good old Facebook and all that so I can... Where do I do not want people to know where I live. I get tired of that option. So of course, yes, happy Wednesday to you. Hey Rosie, hope you guys are having a good day today. We're going to be doing my picks real quick. Probably showed in the wonderful, good old happy messenger group, and hello to everyone who's watching this on the NFL YouTube prognosticators as well, and around the world. Because apparently I have a lot of groups to get this plugged in, so this is going to take a while. La 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 la. When you realize you're in so many groups, it's not even funny. Now, of course, if this does get the black screen of death, which might happen because of the weather, I'm not going to really worry about it because it's not gameplay footage. It's just me making predictions this week. And I should point out, if you didn't watch my game against the Steelers last week, I did mention it then. I'll mention it here as well to shake things up a bit because I am not playing the game because my Cowboys are off. Every game I pick in real life, I'm going to have them win the game in my fantasy universe. So we're going to see a lot of things change this week, which could be for the good, could be for the worse, could affect some teams who might be making the playoffs in my fantasy land. So that should be very interesting. Rosie says, you sound in a great mood. Well, I'm in a great mood because tomorrow is Thursday the 12th, aka get my PS5. So there won't be no stream tomorrow, guys, because I would not only be getting that set up when I get home, I will be watching the Titans and Colts game as well. And now that I've shared that, let's get to a recap of this past week. Did you just start your picks? Yes, I did, Mr. Jones. Well, we haven't got to them yet. We're going over excuse me, the recap and some notes from this week. So you're here early, very early, my friend. But welcome. Glad we can make everyone's life a little bit fun. Once my phone decides to cooperate, hashtag phones suck. But there's a recap of past week, week 9. Packers destroyed the 49ers on Thursday. Colts lost to the Ravens. The Broncos were not able to make a comeback as Atlanta figured out how to hold on to a lead for a change. The Bills, like I successfully predicted, and everyone said I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but the Bills did beat the Seahawks. Titans beat the Bears. The Chiefs won my lock of the week, beating the Panthers. Vikings were able to hold down the Lions. Giants looked good again after they beat Washington. You know, Giants are still the 4th team in that division, which is hilarious. Texans beat the Jags in what was a meaningless game for both, except for draft picks. Raiders beat the Chargers. My Cowboys almost pulled off the upset, but unfortunately in the end lost to the Steelers. The Cardinals lost to the hot team in the Dolphins. The Bucks got obliterated by the Saints, and then on Monday the Jets couldn't pull off the upset, which would have been the biggest upset of the year, as they lost to the Patriots thanks to Nick Foles. So I went 6-8 this past week. Not a good week, my first losing week of the NFL season. But for the season, though, I'm 87-39-1, so I'm still having a winning season in predictions. Let's see. Mr. Jones says he has got the Colts. I will get to that game eventually for me myself. Rosie says tomorrow I have orientation for Helmut. Well, remember, when you get there, just say, welcome to Walmart, get your shit and get out. By the way, that's a joke. Everyone's probably laughing. Some Week 10 notes. The Falcons waived their 2017 first-round pick, D.E. Tatanka McKinley. Hopefully I pronounced that name. Colts tight end Jack D is in NFL concussion protocol, making it very unlikely he will play tomorrow night against the Titans. Also in NFL's concussion protocol, Bears running back David Montoga is now in the NFL's concussion protocol. Now this is for a flex schedule game for next week in Week 11. The Packers-Colts game has been moved to 4:25 on Fox. So keep that in mind for all you happy little people out there. Also, a source as well, sadly, this is from the NFL Network. Cowboys rookie cornerback T. Diggs unfortunately suffered a fractured bone in his foot late on Sunday and is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Based on the timing, it is possible his season is over. Either way, Diggs will make a full recovery for next season. To me personally, I'm just going to say this. Just let him rest. Cowboys ain't making the playoffs anyway. Let him heal up with all the other injuries we got and be ready for next year. He was playing well, though. Unfortunately, that's kind of what sucks about this, because he was playing great for the defense, and after we finally got our defense to play good for a change as well. Dave said he'll do his picks later. That's no problem. Just tag me on here. I tagged you in the video because I wanted you to be able to at least watch it. Let's see. Mr. Jones has the Colts and Browns winning so far. And lastly, and certainly not least, because I do want to mention this as well real quick, as he came to my radar this morning, thanks to you, Dave. I was expected to play Sunday against Tampa Bay due to a right shoulder. McCrafty would now be considered week to week. Personally, I think, depending on how the Panthers do, if they lose against Tampa Bay, I think they're just going to sit him down for the rest of the season and be like, hey, we're not doing anything. Let's just worry about getting a decent draft pick or keeping you healthy for next season. It is unfortunate for Teddy Bridgewater, though, because he did need him healthy to help him out, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Injuries can be a cruel mistress of a bitch, as they say. So let's get to the games this week. By the way, if you do fantasy football, please note the Cowboys, the Jets, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Jaguars are off this week. So if you have them on your fantasy team, please remember to bench them. Yes, I'm sure someone's going to look who has Cowboys or Jets players or Jaguars. You'd be surprised because sometimes you have to take with what you got. Anyway, let's get to the first game. Colts and Titans. It is in Tennessee. Colts coming off a heartbreaking loss against Baltimore. Titans are coming off a good win over Chicago. Mr. Jones has already said he has got the Colts, and I got the Titans here. I think the Titans really have just been playing lights out, and to me personally, this is the game for the division because of the fact of Texans ain't winning that division, and God knows the Jaguars ain't. I do think whoever loses this game will probably still make the playoffs because you get those 3 wild card teams now. So I don't expect the loser of this to be out of the playoff hunt, but I think the winner has a better chance of winning the division and making it. I just think personally Titans' defense has been playing well. The offense is playing very well. Indianapolis, I think they're a good team. It's just, I think with it being a short week for them and they're missing their tight end because he's out with the concussion protocol, I don't see the Colts doing that much. Should be a good quarterback battle, though, because I do respect Phillip Rivers. I think this is his chance to show the Chargers that he actually was the reason they did so well all those years and not the coaching. As you can see, the Chargers are not a good team. Mr. Jones says, I may have to take back my pick for the Browns. Jags versus Packers. Oh, that's right. I didn't mean to say the Jags. My mistake. Didn't mean to say the Jags. I meant to say the Falcons. But the Falcons are just as bad as the Jaguars, so I apologize. If you had the Falcons, Chiefs, Jets, or Cowboys, they're off this week. Sorry, that is my mistake. Moving on to the next game. It is the Browns at home taking on the Texans. I'm taking Cleveland. Even with the Browns having some issues offensively, I just think they're a better team overall than the Texans, who are pretty much just going through the motions. You know, they're going to figure out who their head coach is going to be and all of that. So, like I said I was going to do, the Titans winning that game, and I got the Browns winning that game. Up next, it is Washington Redskins, a.k.a. the Washington football team, a.k.a. the horse with no name, la 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 la, taking on the Detroit Lions. Both these teams need a win here to keep any hope of a playoff shot alive. Loser of this will probably just guarantee them a top 10 pick. I'm taking in an upset here, Washington, just because of the fact of I just want to see something hilarious, and plus, fuck Detroit. Hashtag fuck Detroit. To me, to be honest, I'm surprised the Lions head coach has not been on that list of being terminated yet. I thought he would have been, but apparently he's getting his ass will probably be saved for another season, which is shocking to me personally. By the way, I'm bringing up the odds for each game right now just in case you guys want the point spread real quick. So ESPN app load. Ooh. Sorry. I was watching Jackie Chan's Adventures this morning when I was asleep. Well, trying to sleep anyway. Moving on. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I said I would do this. There you go. Up next, it's the Jaguars and Packers. Yeah, this is my lock of the week. Packers win this easily. I'm sorry. Does anyone really have faith in the Jaguars to do anything? I mean, if anyone thinks they do, if you pick the Jaguars, I say, I want some of that alcohol you're drinking, my friend, because that's got to be some good shit. Because there's no way in hell I'd pick Jaguars. I don't even think Jacksonville fans are going to pick the Jaguars. So keep that in mind. By the way, the odds, the point spreads. Titans are favored by 2 points. The Cleveland Browns are favored by 3. The Lions are favored by 4 points. And the Green Bay Packers are favored by 2 touchdowns, pretty much. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the next game, it is Philadelphia taking on the Giants. Eagles coming off the bye. Giants looking good in the last 2 games. Yes, they went 1-1. One beating a bad Washington team, but they almost beat Tampa Bay. And if you're the Giants, you still have a chance to win the division if you run the table. Here, Eagles need this one just because they're in first place. They keep on winning, they'll get the division. But I'm going to take the Giants here just because of how crap the division is. I would not be surprised if we see a team in that division win the division with 9 losses. It could, and there's a chance it could be 10 depending how bad it gets. But I'm taking the Giants here just because I want to laugh. And by the way, the Eagles are favored by 4 points, give or take. Up next, an interesting game now. Buccaneers take on the Panthers. Buccaneers are 6-3. They're still in control of their own destiny, getting a chance to probably make the playoffs. Panthers are kind of needing help. They got to run the table a bit. Tampa Bay is favored by 6 points. I'm going to take Tampa Bay here. You know, yes, I think a lot of people are shocked how bad they got destroyed by the Saints. I think they bounced back, plus with the news of the Panthers running back is going to be out again this week. I feel like, the Panthers did hang in there with the Chiefs. I just feel like, how can I say this? I just feel like with the Panthers, all the injuries are catching up with them now, and it's one of those teams to where injuries are catching up, unfortunately, and I think it's just not going to be the time this year. Now, next year, if they're healthy, I think the Panthers could be a threat in that division, making it a 3-team race again. But I think Buccaneers win this one on the road. They get the W, so hip hip hooray. Go Buccaneers. But if I'm going to say this right now, Bucks lose to the Panthers like they did against the Saints, oh, that's going to be interesting, because then there's going to be a whole nother discussion with Tampa Bay asking what the hell's wrong. I do know statistically Brady was the worst quarterback Sunday. He did not play like the Super Bowl MVP I can tell you that personally watching that game. That game was ugh. Moving on. Once I find it, this is actually a 4:25 game, and I should point that out. The last 1 o'clock game is the Buccaneers Panthers, so there was a little bit of flex scheduling this week. So we're actually going to talk about this one right now. Bengals on the road against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's favored by a touchdown. I think that's because of how bad Pittsburgh almost lost to the Cowboys. It is a divisional rival. Stranger things have happened, but I am safe and confident in this. I am taking the Steelers here over the Bengals. I think Big Ben's going to be playing a little bit hurt. I still trust the Steelers a hell of a lot more than WKRP Cincinnati. Now, if it's Thanksgiving, I'll pick the Bengals on Thanksgiving to win just because I want to see some turkeys fly. If you get that reference, congratulations. Moving on now to the one of many early 4 o'clock games. The first one, it is the Buffalo Bills, who are 7-2, taking on the Cardinals. Surprisingly, Arizona's favored in this, which I don't understand why at the moment. I mean, the Bills just came off a big win, knocking out Seattle, which really not too many people saw that happening. And I'm going to take the Bills. So I've been on the Bills bandwagon, and this is my game of the week, by the way, is this one. I've been on the Bills bandwagon pretty much since last year with their defense, and their defense is legit. I've said this before. If the Bills defense stays healthy going into the playoffs, I could see the Bills actually making the Super Bowl, which if that happens, I'm taking Buffalo to win the Super Bowl because the curse has finally got to be over for them. Do I still trust the offense? Not 100%. But I feel like with the way their defense has been playing the last few weeks, and the way Miami just got the way the Cardinals got embarrassed by Miami, I have to take the Bills here. So Bills are my pick. This is my game of the week. Go Bills. Up next, it is the Oakland Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. Raiders are favored by 5 points right now. And I'm taking the why did I say Oakland? The Las Vegas Raiders. See, sometimes I still mess that up with them. I still think they're in Oakland. Taking the Raiders here. Personally, I think the Raiders, this should be an easy gimme game. I will say that with the Broncos, they've won games they should have lost this year. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. But I'm taking the Raiders here. Because with the Broncos, you don't know what you're getting. You're going to get that team that's been playing well, but ends up coming up short. You're going to see the team that's terrible. Cool, clear water. Now, here's the thing. This is not the Jets and Dolphins. Remember, this game was switched to earlier in the year. This is actually the Dolphins and Chargers. Well, I'm off for the next 2 nights. I will stream tonight with my picks, and we'll have fun tonight. All right, Mr. Jones. So I just need to point this out. This is not the Jets at Dolphins. This is the Chargers at Dolphins. Keep that in mind when making your pick. Because of flex scheduling and all that, when they had to move all those games around because of the Titans-Steelers situation earlier in the year. I'm taking the Dolphins here. Dolphins are favored by 2.5 points. Jets are a terrible organized team. Oh, that's right. They don't play the Jets. I just messed myself up. The Chargers are not playing well. Go Dolphins on this one. Again, I fucked that one up myself, and I just said don't do it. Good job, Doug. You're an idiot. By the way, that Chargers Dolphins game is at 4:05. Same with the Broncos and Raiders. And Bills and Cardinals are also a 4 o'clock game. Now at 4:25, we have the Seahawks taking on the Rams. Both teams kind of looking weird going into this. Seahawks coming off that that loss against the Bills. Rams have kind of been up and down. A lot of people I know, particularly Captain, he does not trust the Rams quarterback right now. Rams are favored by a 1.5 point. They're pretty much favored by a safety. But I'm taking the Seahawks here. I think Seahawks bounce back. Russell Wilson's been an MVP candidate most of this year. I just don't trust the Rams enough to pick because of they're giving up on the run so much this year. I'm taking the Seahawks to win this game. Well, since I did say I'm taking the Dolphins, I may as well pick the Dolphins there. And since I'm taking the Seahawks, I'll take the Seahawks there. Moving on, no, Dave's not going to like me for this, but this is the last 4:25 game of the schedule. It is the Niners taking on the Saints. Saints are favored by 9.5 points. I'm taking the Saints here, guys. Sorry, Saints to me are just a better team. Niners have too many injuries. Saints should easily walk away with this win. If they don't, that's an embarrassment to the New Orleans. This is a trap game, definitely in my opinion. I think if the Niners lose this, the Niners will probably look at themselves saying, do we try to get one of those 3 wildcard spots, or do we just, because of all our injuries, just play some good football, give our fans something to look forward to the next year? That's the question we're going to be seeing in this game, in the next few games for the 49ers. But yeah, I got the Saints winning this one. Sorry, guys, it's just the way it is. Okay, this one, I'm honest, this one should not surprise anybody. It's the Ravens at Patriots. Baltimore's favored by 7 points. Baltimore finally showed they could beat a team with a winning record this past week, beating the Colts. Patriots barely got by the Jets. Let me repeat that. The Patriots, a team that's been known for dominating the Jets for years, barely got by them. The Jets were winning most of that game. If it wasn't for the brain fart of whoever decided on that final draft for the Jets to be stupid, The Jets could have won that game, and we'd be talking about how the Jets have a 1 and whatever instead of still being winless. I think the Ravens here, this is a trap game for them, though, because of the fact the Patriots are not looking well. Patriots are now, at this point, I think they're looking at like we may not be able to win the division. We're going to have to steal a wild card spot to get in, depending on what happens with the Dolphins and the Bills, respectively. But I'm taking Baltimore here. I think they finally turn it around. This is a good primetime game for Baltimore to show everyone who they are and what the offense and defense can do. For the Patriots, I think this is a chance for Cam Newton on primetime Sunday night to say, hey, I still got it. I still think Cam Newton will still be the quarterback next season as well for the Patriots because not everything's been his fault. There's some losses that are on him, but some of those losses are not on him. Mostly the one I can use that's on him is the Bills loss from when he fumbled it. But I'm taking the Ravens here. Go Baltimore. Fight for Maryland and all that good stuff. And then the Monday night game. Oh boy. The Vikings take on the Bears. It's in Chicago. The Vikings are favored by pretty much about 3 points, give or take. Here's my thing with Chicago. I love the Bears defense. I really do. But the problem is the Bears offense is terrible. I've been talking with this with Giant Vibrator most of the last few weeks, and I've been mentioning it here on every stream, every pick video for the last few weeks. But no one seems to listen in Chicago. Nick Foles needs his ass benched. He's not helping you anymore. Yes, I know he was like, well, he came up and won that game out of nowhere against Atlanta. Yeah, guess what? Atlanta sucks. Since then, he has been terrible. And the Bears need to go back to Davinsky. And I would say if you lose this game, you need to do it right after this game's over. Because if not, you were a team a few weeks ago, undefeated. A team who looks like, oh, here's one of the teams that's going to make the playoffs, that's going to shock everybody. To being a team who we thought they were. A joke because your offense can't do anything right. At this point, I'd feel more confident, and I'm going to use TCW here, putting baby announcer as in the Bears quarterback instead of Nick Foles. Okay? That's how much trust I have in the Bears offense. That I would put baby announcer from TCW in there. Hell, let's put Tommy from Rugrats in there as quarterback. He couldn't do any worse than Nick Foles. So yeah, if you haven't figured out, I'm taking the Vikings here. I just feel like the Bears offense is going to let people down again. So my picks this week are, I got the Titans, the Browns, Washington getting an upset win over the Lions, the Packers are my lock of the week, the G-Men of New York City, because they won't be sleeping as they beat the Eagles. The Bucks bounce back with a W. The Las Vegas Raiders get a W. The Dolphins won't make Dan Marino cry. The Bills get a big win again. The Seahawks bounce back with a win. The Saints will go marching in and destroy what's left of the Niners. And the Steelers remain undefeated all the way over there. Baltimore will show that they can fly on prime time. And the Vikings get a big win on Monday Night Football, baby. Let me know what you think of my picks below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget, tomorrow night, I will not be streaming due to getting the PS5 and watching the Titans-Colts game. But before we go, because of the fact that we know we've done this, let's see, because in Week 11 we know I play the Vikings. Let's see how this switched up the standings a bit, just for fun, since we did this little fun trick. Because you'll probably see me take on the Vikings next week. I'm going to do all that next week as well. So let's take a look at the standings. Oh, that helped the Giants a bit. In the AFC, Ravens are the 1 seed, followed by the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Jags. Because you know the division. So Browns, Dolphins, and Steelers would be your wild card teams. Interesting. In the NFC, Cowboys are the 1 seed, followed by the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, and the Saints. Your 3 wildcard teams right now in my thing are the Giants, the Vikings, and the Falcons. Yeah, and I'm sure Atlanta's like, I wish this was real life, because I would like to be there. Taking a look at everything on the North, Ravens and Browns are battling for it. Steelers and Bengals not out of it yet. In the South, the Jaguars, God. You know, it's pretty sad when, you know, there's a chance the Colts could run the table. I doubt it. In the East, Bills and Dolphins pretty much control it. So that kind of looks like what it does in real life, give or take. Except for the Jets' one win. And the Chiefs pretty much, yeah, Raiders are kind of the bottom barrel there. In the North, the Vikings pretty much doing Viking things. On the South, the Buccaneers are pretty much doing what they've been doing. In the East, yep, I just gotta worry about the Giants, who if I do end up losing. And in the West, it's the Seahawks. I will see you guys later tonight when I do one more stream, but that would be much later tonight. Until then, have a good night, and I'll see you guys later. And let me know again, who do you think I have right, and who do you think I got wrong, and who are your picks this week? Till then, good night, stay warm, and if you're out in this terrible rain, drive safe.